Good morning, everyone. KLGR Farm Director Scott Colomb with you on this Wednesday, January 11th. Here's a look at your ag headlines and market update. First, the Minnesota Department of Agriculture on Tuesday announced the state-specific use restrictions for 3 dicamba herbicide products will remain the same for the 2023 growing season as they were in 2022. The restrictions are aimed at curbing off-site movement of the products. The affected dicamba formulations include BASF's Ingenia, Syngenta's Tevium, and Bayer's Extendamax, and they are the only dicamba products labeled for use on dicamba-tolerant soybeans. The 3 products are registered for use in the state this year with the following restrictions: a date cutoff of June 12th for areas south of Interstate 94. Meanwhile, north of Interstate 94, the cutoff date is June 30th. Also, there is a temperature cutoff where no application may be made if the air temperature at the field at the time of application is over 85 degrees, or the National Weather Service's forecasted high temp for that nearest available location exceeds 85 degrees. Users can download the restrictions from the product manufacturer's website, and they must be in the user's possession during application. According to Minnesota Ag Commissioner Tom Peterson, quote, "These restrictions mirror what we did in 2022 when we saw a major decrease in complaints of off-target movement from the previous year. These products must be used without impacts on neighboring homes, lawns, farms, and gardens. The Minnesota-specific restrictions are based on scientific evidence from our drift investigations and discussions with the University of Minnesota Extension and Minnesota Soybean Growers Drift Task Force," end quote. During last year's growing season, the department received 25 formal complaints and 8 responses to an informal survey, all alleging off-target movement. That's a major decrease from 2021, which saw a total of over 300 formal complaints and survey responses. In the state, Ingenia, Tevium, and Extendamax formulations of dicamba are approved for use on dicamba-tolerant soybeans only and are considered restricted-use pesticides, and that means that the products can only be sold to and used by certified applicators. After a speech at the American Farm Bureau's annual convention in San Juan, Puerto Rico, Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack said there will be no compromise when it comes to the Mexican corn situation. The U.S. is not going to back down or compromise on its stance against Mexico's plan to ban imports of genetically modified yellow corn. Vilsack said the American government is supposed to reply by January 15th to Mexico's proposal to delay the ban until 2025. U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai has spoken to her Mexican counterpart about the dispute, and speaking to reporters at the convention last week, Vilsack said that if Mexico does not agree to withdraw its import ban, the White House will push the USMCA on trade rules. Mexico's President Lopez Obrador met with Vilsack, and Vilsack said he won't be able to find enough non-GMO corn to import and feed the country's livestock sector. The larger issue is about the trading system with less friction, not more. And the Environmental Protection Agency held a virtual public hearing this week on its proposed renewable volume obligation blending requirements under the Renewable Fuel Standard for years 2023 through 25. A number of the nation's leading ag organizations and supporters testified during the hearing. Minnesota corn grower and president of the National Corn Growers Association, Tom Haig, said during testimony that they support the growth trajectory in the EPA's proposal, but that biofuels can contribute even more. Meanwhile, the Renewable Fuels Association's Jeff Cooper said, quote, "The proposed set rule establishes a firm foundation for the future of the RFS and creates a pathway to sustainable growth in the use of low-carbon fuels," end quote. Advanced Biofuels Business Council Executive Director Brooke Coleman said that they appreciated the EPA's commitment to setting a multi-year RVO, curtailing small refiner exemptions, and establishing a reasonable growth across all categories of biofuels. Quote, "However, EPA left some tools on the shelf for promoting innovation in cellulosic biofuel," end quote. That's a look at ag headlines this morning. Here's a look at the markets. March corn's up 2 3/4 at 657 3/4. December up 2 at 591 1/4. March soybeans up 11 1/2 at 1496 1/2. November up 8 3/4 at 1399 1/4. Chicago March wheat up a half at 731 1/2. July's up 1 1/4 at 745 1/2. Minneapolis March spring wheat's down 1 1/4 at $8.93 1/4. July unchanged at $8.88 1/4. Kansas March red wheat down 1/2 at $8.11 1/4, while July is unchanged at $8.06 3/4. March oats is up 4 at $3.45 even, while July is unchanged at $3.41 3/4. March soybean meal up $3.80 at $470.70. December up $2.60 at $410.10. March soybean oil is up 79 cents at $63.36. December up 61 cents at $60.94. On the livestock markets, February live cattle closed yesterday unchanged and opens today at $157.75. June closed up a nickel and opens today at $157.50. February lean hogs closed yesterday down $1 and open at $79.80. May closed down $1.52 1/2 and opens today at $96.22 1/2. January feeder cattle closed up 67 1/2 cents and opens at $184.30. April closed down a dime and opens today at $190.52 1/2. February pork cutouts closed down 97 1/2 cents and opened today at $88.02 1/2. May closed down $1.07 1/2 and opens today at $103.65. On the Class 3 milk futures, January is down 17. On the Class 3 milk futures, January is down 7 cents at $19.46. March unchanged at $18.67 per hundredweight. And that is a look at the egg headlines and a market update. Here again is the answer to this week's Big Beef giveaway question. You can head over to our sister page, KLGR Radio, by searching for KLGR 1490 and 95.9 FM, myklgr.com, or facebook.com/KLGR Radio. 2023 is looking to be another busy year for Minnesota cattle women. President Michelle Mosier says the first event kicks off in March. What was the original name for the organization? The answer we're looking for our Big Beefy giveaway is Minnesota Cowbells. Minnesota Cowbells. I'm KLGR Farm Director Scott Colomb saying thanks for watching this morning.